So what you are looking at right now is a full production software as a service that I built on Coolify with AI agents. It has real login and sign up, real payment gateways like Razorpay and PayPal, a full course platform. I have already launched two courses here, a community platform, a product section with real products, and an internal admin dashboard, which I call the console, to run the entire thing. Building automations, seeing everything, all from one place. I also added analytics and automations inside the console so I can actually see what's happening on the business side, not just the tech side. And I will say this straight up. I did not write a single line of code with my own hands. From building it to securing it to everything in between, it was done by AI agents, Cloud Code, Anti-Gravity, and Codex. And I built this on my own Coolify instance running on a hosting or VPS. So I didn't need Vercel, AWS, or anything like that. It's completely managed by me and AI, and it's basically free because I already own the hosting and I don't need to pay for a bunch of different tools anymore. The reason I even thought of building this is because I was tired of juggling tools like Go High Level, System.io, WordPress, and a bunch of other platforms, and none of them talk to each other properly unless you bring in another tool on top, like an N8N, just to connect them. So I thought, why not just build my own platform and skip needing all of them? And once I built it, I realized almost every small business has this exact same problem. I have already made a few videos on Coolify before, and I thought this was worth making a video on because I think people watching can actually build something like this for their own business or even build solutions for other businesses. And the thing is, this entire stack doesn't need a lot of resources. You just need one VPS server that you own and you need Coolify. If we are talking about the tech stack, the app itself is built on Next.js. I chose Next.js because it's fast and it's genuinely nice to work with. The database is managed through Postgres, file storage, images, videos, course lessons, all of that is hosted on Cloudflare R2. Cloudflare also handles the DNS, SSL and caching, and Coolify is what actually runs and deploys the app on the VPS. I chose Coolify specifically because I don't have to manage everything from the terminal all the time. I can go into the interface directly when I want to. And honestly, I have been using Coolify for a long time now, so I am very comfortable with it. Now, in this video, I am not going to cover anything about actually coding it because it wouldn't make sense. I never coded any of this myself. That's just the reality. I built this entirely out of prompting, going from an idea to a problem to a solution. And this wasn't a one day thing. It took me several days, somewhere around 4 to 7 days. And along the way, there were so many bugs and errors I had to go through. So I wouldn't tell you that you can just spin this up in a day and it'll work. There will be security issues. There will be things you need to debug, review, and check through AI itself before it's actually ready to launch. So let me tell you how I actually built it. I created a local environment file, and inside it I put all my API keys, my Coolify API key, my VPS SSH key, my Cloudflare account API key, all of it as credentials inside that local deploy environment file. I know that sounds risky, but if you add it to git ignore, it never gets committed. So you have to explicitly tell your agent to do that. And then every time I built something, I told the agent to document it. Because when you're working across multiple agents and you start a fresh session, they forget everything. Even though they technically have their own memory, once a new terminal session starts, that context is gone unless it's written down somewhere. But the one thing you need to be very careful about is security. Every single time you need to review your code, check whether you're committing anything you shouldn't, and check for loopholes and vulnerabilities. Because they will be there, and if someone finds that opening, they can take advantage of it, hack your system, or inject something malicious. So whenever you do a security check, tell your AI to document it too. That's actually why I have an agents file or a whole folder of agent files for this project. So every agent, no matter which one picks up the work, can read it and stay on the same page. The goal is to never lose track of what the AI understands about the project. You can run multiple AI agents independently, or you can build something like a dispatch system where one agent acts as the senior, directing the others as workers. Right now I am running 4 AI agents on this project: Cloud Code, Anti-Gravity, Codex, and OpenCode. OpenCode I have connected to a few free external APIs, so it plays a smaller role. This is also a fully SEO optimized website, blog included. We are automating parts of the blog process, but every word of the actual content is human written, not AI generated text pretending to be a blog post. So if I were to tell you how to actually get this running yourself, It comes down to this: know how to use a terminal. If you already have a VPS and you're using Coolify, you probably already know this. But once you get started, be very careful with your credentials and what you're committing. This can be genuinely dangerous. Keep your GitHub private and make sure you're never committing your credentials alongside your code. All of your credentials should live inside Coolify's environment variable section. Tell your AI to put them there and then go check yourself that they actually are there. Also, make sure you have a health check set up. I say this because I learned it the hard way. I did not know that. But when another AI agent starting on the same project pointed it out, this is really important because it stops users from seeing broken pages if the app crashes or restarts. One thing I would suggest when starting a project is to start with a powerful AI model to build the base. Once you have the base and context, you can continue the project with smaller models as well. Initially, I used Claude Opus 5 and now I am using Sonnet 5 with medium effort. So here is how you will get started. Get your own VPS, create an SSH root key, create a local environment file to store your VPS SSH key. Then install Coolify in your VPS and then get the Coolify API keys and then put the same env files. Next, create your project and from the project directory hand over everything to the AI agent in the terminal. Tell it to start building and make sure everything sensitive is git ignored from the very beginning and tell it to document everything as it goes. Saving tokens should honestly be one of your first priorities because if you let your agents read everything every single time, you are going to burn through usage fast. So structure your agent files into subfolders and only let each agent read what it actually needs for its task. And if you are splitting work across multiple agents, give each one the full task, not half of it. Don't tell one agent to build the front end and another to build the back end for the same feature. You'll end up with so many bugs and mismatches. Give one agent full ownership of one piece, let it finish that piece completely, and then have another agent come in and review it. That's actually why I run a full review regularly. I use Claude's Ultra Review to review the entire codebase once a week. And I also use Anti-Gravity, which I get access to for free, to review code heavily. I will hand it the entire repo and have it check for bugs, anything committed to GitHub that shouldn't be, vulnerabilities, and even things like caching or Docker issues where your VPS disk can quietly fill up if you're not watching it. You can manage your database directly through Coolify or through the VPS itself via your agent. But remember, Claude Code's auto mode will never let you manage a production database directly when it's live. So in those cases, you need to set up MCP tools locally so your agent can safely handle that kind of a task. So that's the overview. This isn't meant to be a fully detailed step-by-step video because I didn't write any of the code myself, so a coding walkthrough wouldn't make sense coming from me. But it is not solely done by AI. I had to plan, ideate, find bugs, find vulnerabilities, and give feedback. If you want the actual detailed breakdown, the payment configuration, how I wired up everything, how I came up with the ideas, and exactly how I executed each step, that's inside the course. The first module is free, and the course itself deployed on the same platform that I built myself. So go check it out. Experience the course, the platform, and let's figure out together how we can build more platforms like that.